Steer clear from these 10 dangerous pitfalls. This is 10 ways on how you can survive a prop firm challenge. And as always, I have notes on me. My name is Aaron.usd. For those of you who don't know, I appreciate those of you who are watching. For those of you who don't know, I'm a forex trader and I also am a proud Christian. So all of these 10 principles, they are centered around the Bible. They are centered around Jesus Christ. And that doesn't mean that my teachings are exclusive to Christians. I literally welcome everybody from all walks of life. And these principles, they are true, they are powerful, and you will find them to be profitable in your career as traders, as long as you do your part, okay? So if you're ready to commit and if you're ready to transform your trading career, why do I feel so much energy? I just like giving you guys game. I just like giving you guys game. If you're ready to transform your trading career, tap yourself and say, I'm ready. Let's go. So way number one, guys, the first way that you can survive a prop firm challenge is that understand that you're most likely going to fail your first challenge, okay? And don't beat yourself up about it. I fell victim to that too. And I'm glad if this is like, if you're going to step into like the prop firm space, if this is your first time, congratulations. But understand that you might fail your first challenge because you've been trading with a broker the whole time and there's no like regulation on how much you can lose. Not regulation, but like you're free to risk as much as you can handle. Whereas with a prop firm challenge or even with a funded account, whatever, it's the same thing. You're not trading with a risk that you're okay with. You're not trading with a risk that you're okay with losing or managing. You're trading with a risk that is like determined by somebody else. You feel me? And you have to adhere to like their rules because like most prop firms, like their drawdown maximums like 8 to 10%. And for you and for me, example, like I'm okay with like even if I had like $100,000 in like my own brokerage account, I'd be cool with losing like 30K, like 30%. But whereas, or for you, you might be cool with losing 50%. But no, with a prop firm, guys, you have to adhere to that 8 to 10% overall. And you also have a daily drawdown of around, like most prop firms is like 3 to 5% in a day, 3 to 5% in a day. And this is going to be your first time adjusting your strategy to this new way of managing your percentages and stuff. And you're also going to have to be percentage based with your losses and your profits. And this is not a hard process, but it is a transition. And understand that, especially because you also have money on the line. You may have like $60, $100 for the account size that you paid for. You're also kind of stressed about the money, which you shouldn't be, but you're also kind of stressed about the money. It's your first time. You're also managing the new drawdown maximums and stuff. So there's a lot that you're gonna have to learn when it's your first time trading with a prop firm account. Excuse me. So understand that you might fail your first account or your first challenge, and that is completely okay. My first challenge was like a 100K challenge, and I was making I was working at a call center job, so and I was making like what I still do work at a call center job. I don't know why I'm acting so bougie. I was making at the time like $700 a month, and the prop firm account that I bought was like $500, and I lost it. And someone told me, don't go for like such a big account. The account I went for was like a 100K challenge, and I lost it. But then I ended up passing like like the third one because I failed one and I failed another, and the third one I ended up passing and making a payout. But yeah, I wish I went smaller the first time I went for a profit challenge. So way number one, understand that you might fail your first challenge, and that is completely okay. Okay. Number two, guys, is find a simple strategy and master it. When you're going from trading with your own personal funds to transitioning to trading with a prop firm with somebody else's capital, somebody else's risk management, that is not the space to be trying and testing your strategy. that is a place where you should be like, your strategy should be simple, duplicatable, and easy for you to execute. You feel me? So don't go there and try and like if you're still in the stage of making your strategy simple enough to the point where you feel like you've mastered it. If you're not there yet, get to that point, and then you are more than welcome to transition into the problem space. You know what I'm saying? And if what I'm saying, guys, doesn't make sense, there's a lot of principles that I'm going to give you today, and in all of my YouTube videos that might not make sense to you. And the reason that they might not make sense to you guys is because if you knew the way to getting success, if you knew how to make, I've personally made like over $5,000 with prop firms. If you knew how to do that, you would have done that by now. You wouldn't be watching my videos by now. But being that, you haven't gotten to that point, maybe, just maybe, there's somebody out there who knows how to get to the destination that you want to get to, and they probably know of a way that you're not aware of. So perhaps, even though what I'm saying might not make sense, I'm not saying do what I'm saying, I'm not saying adhere to it, I'm just saying at least let it marinate. Okay? At least what I'm saying marinate. At least let what I'm saying marinate, okay? And then, so yeah, that's strategy number 2 is that find a simple strategy and master it. Then you're more than welcome to enter the problem space. And then tip number 3 is start small, because psychologically you cannot deal with $100,000 in capital from trading with $100 account. It is not the same, guys. That goes like hand in hand with my first point that, honestly, dude, trading with $100 or $1,000 is completely different with trading with 100,000 USD. Like watching yourself like lose $3,000 in a day it's a crazy feeling. It's crazy. Like it shows you how much money is really out there in the market. You know what I'm saying? It exposes like the potential of how much you can make, the potential of how much you can lose, and that can, psychologically, that can be a lot to bear on you. That can be a lot to bear if you're honestly transitioning from just trading with a couple of $100 or a couple of $100,000 to 6 figures. That is honestly a big transition, guys. So go into it ease into the platform space. Maybe start with a 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K. You know what I'm saying? 25K. Those are good accounts, 50K going onwards, I feel like you should more or less know what you're doing, or you should more or less have some experience. But from 5 to 25K, 25K is kind of stretching it, but 25K is good. But yeah, just keep it within, start small, just ease into it. Don't go all willy-nilly like I did. Yeah, don't do that. I had lost a lot of money and got into a lot of debt doing that, so I don't want that for y'all. Number 4 is that you need to remember this principle, guys. This is straight from the Bible. It's Proverbs 10 verse 4, and it says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich." So if you're like lazily doing the work that you need to be doing, if you're lazily like executing your trades, if you're lazily like approaching the market, you're missing your sessions, if you're lazy, if your approach to the market is like out of laziness, you're going to be poor. This market is gonna make you broke. You're gonna lose money. But if you're diligent, the word diligent here means focused. If you're focused at what you're doing, if you're focused in your work and you maintain that focus and you hold that focus there, you're always going to stay on top of your game. You're always going to be on top of when it's your session to trade, when your strategy is perfectly aligning for you to trade and the market is not just playing with you. When you're focused, you're more aware. But if you're just lazy and nonchalant and don't really care, this market is going to eat your last dollar. Okay, trust me, I know. But if you're focused, the Bible says it itself, you will be rich. Okay, and a lot of people would think that the Bible doesn't want people to be rich. Well, guys, Abraham, like arguably the most famous person of all time, the friend of God, the father of the Christian faith, he was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold. Well, I don't know about you, but I think the universal standard of wealth throughout like almost the entirety of time has been cattle, like how many animals you got, because that's food. Gold, because gold is like always been valuable. And precious metals like copper, silver. The friend of God was rich. Why would God not want you to be rich? He has the word rich in his own word. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Guys, the Bible is not just a book about going to heaven and hating life on earth and just wanting to go to heaven. No, the Bible is honestly a book about principles that can literally show you how to live your best life right now here on earth, okay? I need y'all to understand that. So that's that's tip number 4, is always understand that if you're going to be lazy in your approach to the market, your money will be chowed. And if you approach the market with a diligent hand, a focused mind, you will be rich. God says so himself. And God is a God who cannot lie. And there's a big difference between cannot lie and will not lie. There's a big difference between cannot lie and doesn't lie. There's a big difference between cannot lie and hasn't lied, or might not lie, or shouldn't lie, or hasn't lied. Cannot means he's unable to. The God who literally created everything out there in the world, like everything, just out of his words. That's how limitless God is in his power. He's literally eternal. He lives outside of time. He has always existed. And that God, even though he's so unlimited in his power, he put a limit on himself that he cannot tell a lie. So if he's telling you that if you are focused at the work that you're doing now, and you maintain your focus there, and you hold your focus there, you will be rich. Let's move on. Number 5 is rejoice. Guys, I'm going to mention this in literally every video. This is for my top 10 percenters, guys. If you can wake up every day, whenever you trade, before you enter the market, just say, I'm grateful for 10 things. If you're watching this video right now, you're probably like, if you're a negative Nelly, and sorry to call your name, but that's like kind of what you are. You're probably like, I don't have 10 things to be grateful for. Bro, you do. You woke up to a bed. You didn't wake up to the floor. You didn't wake up on the street. There's blankets on you. There's blankets covering you. You have clothes on your back. Warm water. You have access to warm water, electricity, Wi-Fi, food in your fridge. You have a fridge to keep your food from rotting. You have soap to clean yourself. You have access to the internet, literally the live, like I don't even know you guys. I don't even know you. You watching this video, I do not even know you, but more likely than not, I have named 10 things that you wake up to every single day, but you take them for granted. And I guarantee if you were to lose all of these things, there would be the first thing that you ask for back. You wouldn't ask for a Lamborghini. You wouldn't ask for $100 million. You would just ask to have the life that you used to have. So be grateful for what you have, guys. That's tip number 5. Tip number 6 is focus on what you're good at and build from there. Be resourceful. Guys, trading with prop firms is honestly going to expose you psychologically and also expose you like in terms of your strategy as well. And what I've seen a lot of traders do is that they'll end up like the market will expose you. So for example, for me, when I failed my prop firm challenge, it exposed that I was not confident in my strategy because I was using somebody else's signals to pass my challenge. You feel me? And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but you know what I'm saying? That's not a good thing. It's not good to put more trust in somebody else than yourself in the market. I just personally don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? So when I say focus on what you're good at, do not be discouraged by, when you're trading and the market is, or the challenge is exposing to you the things that you're lacking in. Focus on the things that you're good at. Like, for example, for you, just for example's sake, like you might be good at like entries. Let's say you're super good at entries and you know a pair like NASDAQ that's always giving awesome entries or entries every hour, every 30 minutes. So you're good at entries. You find a pair that works with that gives you lots of entries. If you're good at catching like lots of pips, if you're good at catching like big long trades, like swing trades, then find a pair that like you're good at that, obviously, and find a pair that makes big gains um, over a long period of time, like NAS, like gold, like whatever the case is. Always find what you're good at and find a pair or find a strategy that works with that, guys. Am I making sense? If you're good at if you're good at, how can I say, like, for me, like, what am I good at? I'm good at being robotic. Like I can like honestly like take a loss or take a win and like move on. You know what I'm saying? So I can trade a pair like GBPUSD because well, not really, but you guys are getting my point, right? You guys are getting my point. I hope you guys are getting my point. Okay, just focus on what you're good at. Okay, just focus on what you're good at and find a pair that matches that. Okay, awesome. Number 7 is always get a balance-based drawdown account and not a equity-based drawdown account. Because if you're gonna a balance-based drawdown account is when you have a profit challenge. Let's say you get a 10K account, and the balance-based drawdown, that means that, let's say the drawdown max is 10%, and they get that from the balance. So obviously that the maximum that you can lose on that $10,000 account is 10. What's 10% of 10,000, guys? Is 1,000. You know that. You know that, right? Whereas that's with a balance-based drawdown account, because it goes off of the initial balance, the starting balance, which is $10,000 flat, and it doesn't take into account your fluctuating positions, your open positions, and your unrealized gains or your unrealized losses or your realized losses or your realized gains. It just starts with the opening starting balance. So that gives like, that makes your trading like how can I say, like, make a lot more stable, a lot more stable. Whereas with an equity based account, that goes off like your open positions, your positions that are in profit, that are in loss in real time. So let's say if you get a $10,000 account, and then let's say you are okay with risking 1.5%, and let's say you're now in drawdown for 1%. Now, because it's going off of the equity, now the equity now is $9,000. So you can't, let's say you want to take another trade for and risk 1.5%, which is $1,500 from the starting balance. No, but because you have an equity based account, it's gonna start your balance from $9,000. What's 1.5% of 9K? Let's say what is like 500. So now like you just risked $1,500. Now you're risking $500. Like what? Like now you're making less money potentially. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's always fluctuating, and you don't need all of this stress, guys, already as traders. Like, the market is more likely to go against you than go for you. Like 90% of forex traders are unprofitable. Only 10% of us make money. So you honestly do not need any more stress than you don't need anything going against your, like, you already have the numbers going against you. You don't need anything else standing in your way. I hope I'm making sense. I know I am. And then number 8, guys, tip number 8 is always have a drink before you talk. Tip number 8 is psychology. And like, for example, expectation. Guys, your psychology is always going to be your biggest leverage to being profitable, especially in the long run in the market, right? So always expect for you to kill it. Always believe in yourself, and always believe that, you know, the work that you're doing in the market, you trading, you using your strategy, the results that it produce are the results that it produce. Whether you make money or you lose money, that is what it is. But, you know, you should just be okay with the fact that you're doing what you have. You're doing your part, and the results will produce themselves. And having that psychology in the market, instead of having a psychology that I need to make $1,000. Oh, I can't afford to lose $100. No, just walk into the market and be like, hey, I'm doing my part to get my desired outcome, and the outcome will produce itself. And you move on. Okay? And that's going to give you a level of peace, guys. And we all want peace. You know, we all want peace. You don't want a peace that is just connected to your circumstances. You don't want to just be at peace in the market when you're having a $1,000 day, or you've made $5,000 in a day, or $5,000 in a week. You don't want to just have peace when you're making money, because you don't always make money in the market. You also want to have peace when you're going through losses. And how are you going to have peace even when you go through your losses? How are you going to have peace that's not connected to your circumstances? Is if you walk into the market knowing that, hey, I want this end result, I want to make this amount of money, and I'm going to do this particular activity. I'm going to trade with high balance, I'm going to trade with big profit accounts, and I'm going to use this strategy, and I'm going to do this for however long it takes, and the results that it produce are the results that it produce. But I'm going to do my part, and the rest will see itself. That's gonna honestly give you a level of peace that nobody else can give you, that nobody in the world could give you, right? Number 9, guys, is also a tip that I feel like, excuse me, I need to stretch. Is I feel like it's also not talked about these days in the market, is taking breaks. Take a break after you've made a lot of money. Take a break after you've lost a lot of money, guys. You need to you need to reset so you can come back into the market as emotionless as possible. Because like when you walk into the market and you've just been, if you like just lost, like been on a losing streak today, and you come back into the market again tomorrow, I can almost guarantee that you're carrying some of that in you. Okay? And it's okay if you lost today and you want to come back tomorrow, awesome. But if you lose again and again and again, it's like you've been unprofitable the whole week, bro, take a chill pill, bro. Just take the next week off and come back. The market is not running away, gang. And even if you've had $100,000 week, like a $10,000 week, a $10,000 day, bro, you're not a market mover, okay? You're not the greatest thing since sliced bread, okay? Your strategy is not perfect. So take time to reset. So when you approach the market again, you know that there is a possibility that you won't make as much money as you made as quick. But if you do again, then awesome. But never walk into the market with an expectation that you're going to produce this result. No, you're putting stress on yourself. You're putting mental strain on yourself. Just do your part and the results will produce themselves. I hope y'all are catching me. Last one, guys, is always keep learning. Nothing stays the same. It either goes down, it either gets worse or gets better. Okay, so always keep improving your strategy, guys. Always find like communities to trade with, mentors that, like, let's say, maybe me, or even if it's not me, just find somebody that is getting the results that you desire in the market, and always like better your strategy. Always like educate yourself in the market, because for example, if you're not constantly working on your weight, if you're overweight, or if you're underweight, or if you're not just happy with the weight that you're currently at, if you do nothing about it, you're not gonna wake up one day and be fit. Your weight, your situation is going to keep on declining. How do you improve your weight? How do you get to your ideal weight? It requires intentionality. It requires you like eating the right food. It requires you moving more, moving less. Do you understand what I'm saying? So always keep on bettering your strategy, guys. If you're not getting better at your strategy, if you're not bettering your psychology, I guarantee you it is getting worse. And how do you better your psychology? How do you better your technical analysis? Through intentionality, by watching these videos, by buying courses, by joining communities, okay? This is how you do these things. Guys, these are the 10 tips that will help you, definitely help you survive a problem challenge, especially if it's your first one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about this video and if I should drop a part 2. I appreciate you guys. This is actually my longest video. My Instagram is at Aaron.usd. My TikTok is Aaron.usd. I appreciate you guys making it this far. If you made it this far, drop a thumbs up. You're a real one. Much love. Till next time.